Well, well, well. Guess who got a big package in the mail? That sounds wrong. But just for an idea, I don't know if I can even fit this guy in frame, but I got this long awaited box in the mail. I did open it because when it arrived, um, it was a little lumpy, a little beat up. Um, so, cutting to the chase, this is the Dolmenwood unboxing. Which I started this video with all this stuff. Well, on the other side of the room, so enjoy looking at a blank screen for now. There's so much stuff. I don't think I can even fit it. Like I can't put it on my desk as I go through. To put it off to the side, which is awkward. I just wanted to preface this by saying I'm not a fan of unboxing videos generally. It's just kind of weird, but a screen and some other stuff. And I've been a fan of Gavin basically ever since. And so I paid close attention to I would call it the evolution of Dolmenwood because, yeah, it's all great stuff. And as a matter of fact, Winter's Daughter is a one of the adventures in Dolmenwood, and is also dear to my heart now as being the first foray of tabletop gaming with my kids. We did Winter's Daughter. I'll get into it later. But anyway, so Dolmenwood is sort of, in my opinion, Old School Essentials Plus. Old School Essentials 1.5. It's kind of built on the same rule set, but it's just a little bit more refined, a little bit more modernized, and then comes with its own unique setting, which is really interesting anyway. I've been seeing a lot of people have already talked about Dolmenwood, like the player's book. I'm a big fan of Man Alone. He did like a breakdown of like the player's book, the campaign book, and what makes it so great. So I don't really need to feel the need to page through the book. Rather, I would rather just go through what's out there for Dolmenwood, because I did like the whole loot box. So it starts with, you get the player's book, which is, in short, everything is the book that everyone would need access to at the table. Obviously, the players need it. The referee would need it, at least to understand it. Because it has the rules for adventuring in it. So I think any table campaign of Dolmenwood would benefit from multiple copies of the player's book floating around. 2 or 3. The campaign book is like the Dungeon Master's Guide, if we were talking about like a 5e comparison, plus one-page hex descriptions of every location in Dolmenwood, which is awesome. Every hex gets its own single page, plus breakdowns of various settlements. I'll just show you the table of contents. The factions, how to run a campaign. It's weird to me that running the campaign is sort of like tucked in between factions and then exploring. Like it's a weird. I don't know. I would put this right up front, because you would use this for basically any campaign using Dolmenwood rule sets, but then I would get into Dolmenwood itself. But whatever. It's all fine. And then of note is the Pipes on Drummond Knoll is a starting adventure, which is a pretty good read. I'm looking forward to. I have plans to run it soon. We'll get into talking about that later. And then of note, the book comes with 2 ribbons, which is great because I imagine you'd be doing a lot of, if you were running your Dolmenwood campaign out of the hard copy book on the table, you'll be doing a lot of page flipping, is what it seems like to me. So 2 ribbons is good. This is a big book. This is a really big book. Monster book. Gives you all the stats of unique creatures that you would encounter in Dolmenwood, as well as animals. I I think it's there's not much to say about the monster book in my opinion, because I think, like usual, monster books tend to be very utilitarian. I will say that the art in this book never misses, though. It's really good looking. My kids love. I showed them this artwork of a goblin. My kids absolutely love it. So I don't know. I feel like it's a disservice that there's not much to say about the monster book. But I guess that's just because the monster book is great. No notes, literally no notes. And then the last book in the set is the maps book. I guess this isn't really part of the set, but the maps book is handy because it breaks down different kinds of maps of the same area. So elevation, where to find fungal and herbs, shrines, so it's like each map is like looking at Dolmenwood through a different lens. And then once you get past all of those, of which there are a lot, it's still going. Settlement maps. These are awesome. These are really awesome. I wish there was a way to like lay this flat on the table, because I could see someone who is running Dolmenwood strictly from printed copies. It would be really helpful to like lay this out on the middle of the table and then use like tokens to represent like where characters are in this settlement. But maybe that's just me being nitpicky. I tend to do that. The art of these settlements are really cool. So I guess these 4 books would be the core set, although the map book is technically kind of optional. If you were going to do a Dolmenwood campaign, this is what I would call like the bare minimum to do it. In the Kickstarter, you had the option to get collector's edition of the core set. So let's take a look at that, huh? A little beat up. That's okay. Just adds character. I gotta say, I wish that there had been a way to get these books down to like A5 size. I love half letter. Oh, this is actually really beat up. Oh well. So it's the same 3: the player's book, the campaign book, and the monster book, but with different cover art. Is it different? It's not different cover art, but it has like an embossed like silvering, which is really pretty, and also addresses my how I say you'd want more than one copy of the player's handbook at the table. Well, there you go. Yeah, feels good in hand, and I don't know if anyone else is like me, but if it's weird to say it, smells great. I love the smell of bookbinding. Also in the Kickstarter package was the GM screen, which, again, I'm going to start off by being a little nitpicky. To me, GM screens that are tall like this make me feel, as a ref, I should say, not GM, a ref, make me feel a little claustrophobic. But when I have a GM screen like this, I just lay it flat on the table and then use it as like a writing pad or whatever, and just sort of look at the information that I would need. That aside, my preference for like landscape GM screens aside, I'm a huge fan of, not a huge fan, the information on this GM screen is amazing. It seems to me like gameplay in Dolmenwood is a lot of, like, you really can't get away from random rolls as like players travel, there's like 7 steps that you go through. 6, I was close. Each one of these being its own randomized roll. So having pretty much all the information on the screen is incredible. Nothing. My biggest pet peeve refereeing is losing momentum. I feel like you're always obligated to keep the adventure going, and having essential information on a GM screen really helps with that. So yeah, and then oh man, look at the artwork too. That's like the one problem if you lay it flat like I do, is you miss out on showing off all this art. So you get a GM screen, ref screen. I'm gonna keep doing that. After that, you get 2 maps. One is for players, one is for refs. So much garbage. Wow. Neat. I think I don't know, what is there to say? When you play Dolmenwood, I would assume that these player maps are like all like the essential information that any like Dolmenwood citizen would have. This is the common knowledge map. And then as the ref, you can sort of think of the hexes, and then sort of like walk players through exploring each hex, which is easy to do if you have the referee map. Which is awesome. Okay. Everyone who backed this project, every ref for Dolmenwood is going to be hanging this on their wall somewhere. I guarantee it. I mean, at least that's what I'm going to do with mine. I really appreciate that the maps aren't just double-sided. Like one side is player facing, the other one is ref facing. This looks great. This looks really great, and I gotta say, it feels good too. It's stitched at the edges. Feels like it's gonna hold up for a long time. Yeah, I'm not really sure what else there is to say, other than everyone is gonna be hanging this on their wall for sure. For sure. Right. Player-facing map, ref map. Now we're getting on to the adventures. There's 4 of them. I think it's kind of funny that Winter's Daughter, I now have like 3 different copies of Winter's Daughter. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. This one, I'm assuming, is just like rewritten with Dolmenwood rules, like monster stats and stuff. Let's see. Yep. Exactly. I'm not sure if this has changed at all from like OSE Winter's Daughter. Yeah. And then the fungus that came to Blackswell is for levels 2 to 3. The Ruined Abbey of St. Clude is for levels 4 to 6. And then Imelda's Song, I have intention to run this quickly in the near future, is for levels 2 to 4. So Winter's Daughter is for 1 to 3. Imelda's Song and Fungus and Blackswell are for 2 to 4 and 2 to 3 respectively, and then the Ruined Abbey is for higher level characters at 4 to 6. So a lot of mileage in the adventures. Let's see. Now getting on to the doodads. box is already kind of ruined, so I'll just gonna tear into it. The Dolmenwood dice sets. Feels like dice are gonna go flying everywhere. There we go. Close. Saved it. I think it's funny that when my wife and I looked at these dice, the first thing both of us said is, "Oh, they're easy to read. Thank goodness." I think black would have been better. I have to nitpick, don't I? But these are really good-looking dice without being without being hard to read. So props there. And the dice also came with, I'm like losing track of where everything is. So much garbage all over my desk now. The dice bag. Oh, the dice bag. It's like a canvasy cloth, and my wife observed that it's the art is stitched on. She appreciated that. I'm not a big dice guy. I don't collect a lot of dice. It's nice to have my first dice bag. Cinch top with a little clasp there. Simple, easy, effective, and would hold a lot of dice sets too. I mean, my Dolmenwood dice are like drowning in there. So a nice dice bag. Next up, the Dolmenwood house pins. House crest enamel pin set. Nice. I'm not still going through my read through of the Dolmenwood material. You can see here there's 9 houses. They're kind of shared all around. Like it feels like they kind of like, I could be wrong, that the houses of Dolmenwood sort of circle around. I'm pointing at the map in my brain. The Dolmenwood forest, kind of on the perimeter. And it's nice to see that in the book it points out that these houses haven't been just like static forever. They've been doing things lately. In particular, I saw like there's a trading of territory between like 2 houses that have recently happened, and it's leading to like hardships and stuff like that. So interacting with the houses of Dolmenwood, I'm assuming means like a lot of potential for like political themed roleplay, if that's what you're looking for. Anyway, the pins are they feel good. They have like a lifted surface. It's not just like a sticker on metal. And then this pin goes straight through. I would love to know, where do you guys put your gaming pins, and where do you put your gaming related patches? Because with the pins, also got the Dolmenwood patch. I personally, I have a coat, like a denim jacket with like a hoodie kind of a thing going on with it, and I've been putting all my gaming patches on there. It's got like Mothership and Rune Cairn patches. I forget what else I have on there. So I'll definitely be putting Dolmenwood on my jacket for sure. Speaking of clothes that we wear, got the Dolmenwood t-shirt. My wife was like, "What the hell is that?" And I said, "Those are 3 cute little mosslings." What are they called? Fungus guys with their cute little noses. Nice t-shirt. If you care, it doesn't seem like it's not just like a sewn-on patch or anything like that. It's it's fully on there. Doesn't feel like that would fade off or anything. Last but not least, the Dolmenwood Adventuring Party miniature set. This actually is not last. There's one more thing. Magnetic clasp on the box. Magnets, always appreciated. And you get 11 assorted miniatures, excuse me. These look like they're all made for their player characters. Human bard, human friar, human knight, Grimalkin thief, mossling. Those are the guys in the t-shirt, the mosslings. Mossling fighter, woodgrew thief. Woodgrews are really cute. An elf enchanter, human hunter, Grimalkin fighter, Braggle magician, and a Braggle fighter. Good stuff. Very good assortment. I appreciate seeing all the kindred in Dolmenwood represented, as well as like a good variety of like it's a woman human knight or female. I'm not, there's good variety for everyone here. There's good representation. That's cool. And then the art on this adventuring party box is one of my favorite Dolmenwood art pieces out there. Okay, last but not least, if you went all in on the Kickstarter, you got one other very unique artifact, which I was very excited about. My wife pointed out it makes 0 sense for me to own. I'm just here. I'm just happy to be here with everyone else. Let's see here. Dolmenwood soundtrack on vinyl. My wife pointed out, Matt, you don't have a record player. What are you doing? She's right. And not only do I not have a record player, but I don't need an excuse to start buying records. But I thought that, I'll leave that in the shrink wrap. This would make a really cool piece of wall art or something like that. And the soundtrack is available on like streaming services and stuff like that too. So, it's good for, I don't know, I listen to it all the time. What can I say? It's really good background music. I think anyone who is watching this video, anyone who is excited about Dolmenwood, has already listened to what's on this album. So I'm not really sure what else there is to say. If you're here, chances are very high that you also listen to this and you love it just like I do. So there isn't much else to say because we're all fans, aren't we? Yeah, so that's Dolmenwood unboxing, I guess we'd call this. Dolmenwood, I think I've already said this, is something I'm super excited to sink my teeth into. I love everything I've read about the setting. Been inhaling the PDFs for a while now. I kind of waited until the printed material started shipping to like really get into it. And in the meantime, and I guess this is a really good segue for this video, I've started putting up some campaigns out there. I don't mind obviously, if you're here, I love playing online, and Dolmenwood is something I would love to play online. If you're interested in joining me on a Dolmenwood adventure, I've got a couple campaigns put up on Start Playing. And I'm just looking for anyone like me who thinks you could lose a couple gaming sessions just exploring everything that Dolmenwood has to offer. I really have every intention of just exhausting all of this crazy amount of material and exploring Dolmenwood together with like-minded people. If you made it to the end, thank you for watching. Like I said, I don't often do unboxings, just on stuff that really excites me. I think I did Mothership a couple years ago. Still getting really good mileage out of that. Love the game. But yeah, Dolmenwood. If you also want to play, hit me up. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about running a couple sessions, a campaign. Thank you for watching. And if you also ordered Dolmenwood, I hope you got yours and that you're as excited as I am. Bye, everybody.